1140. Well, when it comes to the history of the 9 seed, I did a deep dive today, and I don't feel bad about it. It's really just a coin flip. That's all it is. I was just in Vegas, red or black. Roulette, baby. Blackjack. You never know what could happen. So here it is. Here's some of the history of the 9 seed. Let's start right here. A 9 seed has never made it to the second round, which I found interesting. Not necessarily surprising, but interesting. A 9 seed has never made it to the second round. Here are a breakdown of the 9 seeds. They are 6-2 in 9-10 games. That bodes well for the Sacramento Kings. 3-3 in 8 seed games. All right, so they're 508 seed games, which right now means anything could happen. Now, here's a breakdown of what those 3 teams did once they won in the 8 seed game. The number 9 Grizzlies in 2021, they lost to the Jazz, and they lost the series 4-1.
Remember when the Jazz were a 1 seed? That was crazy.
Yeah. They lost 4-1. The number 9 Pelicans in 2022 lost to the Suns 4-2. Okay. And the number 9 Atlanta Hawks, this one confused the heck out of me. In 2022, lost 4-1 to the Miami Heat.
Yeah. Don't you remember that? The year that the Heat went to, that was...
the Heat were a 1 seed 2 years ago?
Well, 3 years ago.
3 years ago?
That was the Tobias Harris over me was the next round. And then that was the conference finals where it went 7 games against Boston, and like Max Strus's foot was on the back line and Jimmy stepped on the line for 3. And that's why they didn't beat the Celtics. And the Celtics went on to lose to the Warriors.
1 seed, huh?
Yeah,
well,
they were really good that year.
The 9 seeded Hawks lost 4-1. So a 9 seed hasn't even gotten close to getting to the second round. And if you think about it, obviously they're facing off against whoever the 1 seed is that season. So not as if they should, but never even gotten to 3 games. Only one team got 2 games, and that was from the Suns. Who was that? Suns in 4 year? That was Suns in 4
year.
Yes,
that was Suns in 4, where they lost to Dallas in the next round.
So they haven't really made me feel great about the chances. But again, expectation-wise, if you were to tell me that and I talked about this with Jason Ross, if you were to tell me that the Oklahoma City Thunder would lose twice to the Kings and one of those wins was in Sacramento, I think that'd be awesome. You know, we have the whole offseason to discuss why that's not good enough. But I do think it would be awesome if the Kings could at least win a game or 2. Now, there are a lot, talking about putting the cart before the horse, a lot of things have to happen. By the way, the number 6 seed Rockets in 1994, 1995, the lowest seed to ever win an NBA championship. The 99 Knicks and the 2022-2023 Heat are the only 8 seed to ever win a conference championship and get to the NBA Finals. So, you know, it kind of is what it is. Obviously, the funny thing is, if you are 3 through 8, this stuff kind of goes out the window because of everything that happened. We know that they were all a game apart from each other. So anything 3 through 8, it's really the Thunder, and I don't want to disrespect the Rockets, but it's the Thunder and everybody else. The problem is the Kings were significantly worse between the 8 and the 9 seed. That's the issue. So as much as I want to throw the Kings in that category, I cannot throw the Kings into the same category as the Lakers or even the Nuggets, even though all these teams were so close. Funny enough, let's talk about the come up of the century. Who would have saw the Timberwolves getting? The Timberwolves were in the play-in all season long. They were in the play-in for 80% of the season, it felt like. And they do what they need to do at the right time, and they sneak out of the play-in at the very end.
Yeah, Minnesota has had a great second half of the season. Now, we mentioned Minnesota had one of the easier strength of schedules, but I remember so vividly early on in the season when the Knicks were killing it and Minnesota was struggling. I'm like, Minnesota's figuring out their growing pains right now, and it might take the whole season, but they're figuring out the growing pains, and they seem to have figured it out, or at least Anthony Edwards has figured out how to play alongside Julius Randle in a way that makes their offense look a lot better, because they are, I would say, if you're looking for an underseeded team to beat a higher seeded team in any of these first round series, I'm not talking about like 5-4, Minnesota beating the Lakers is a solid choice if you're going to pick one.
Yes. And we will get to the Eastern Conference as well, but right now just breaking down the Western Conference and the Sacramento Kings. All right, we've talked about the present. Let's talk about the past, and let's talk about the future. Are the Kings going in the right direction, wrong direction, or do they have no direction at all? We will hear from one of the leaders of the Kings, Domantas Sabonis, on the other side. Alan Stiles, Sactown Sports.